Okay, welcome to Pickle Rick's Screwed Up uh, episode 10 stream. I've been streaming for the last hour and a half, bringing a 64, Jumbo 64, the equivalent of a Jumbo 64 fuel tank out to my space station around the moon in preparation to doing some moon.
Everyone on the phone and sing on.
And then I'm fighting with another bug. I have a USB mic, a microphone to USB connector that I have my microphone that I'm talking to connected to, and it's from Focusrite. It's called the Scarlett 2i2. It is not a cheap unit. It seems to be very popular, but it has this issue with Windows 10 where periodically, for no reason at all, it will disconnect and you'll be streaming happily away for minutes, tens of minutes, half an hour, and then happen to look over at your audio mixer on OBS and see that nothing has been recorded for that whole period of time because your USB is disconnected. So now I have to unplug it, plug it back in, and I got 45 minutes of blank air. And once again, all my streams are really about trying to teach proper orbital mechanics. I have a PhD in medical physics and a master's degree in aerospace engineering and a bachelor's in electrical and computer engineering. I'm retired now, but for over 40 years, I worked on guidance control code, and my nephew showed me this game a long time ago, and I thought it would just be a Zorkon 57 shooter game. And it turns out that it's a very good simulator to teach orbital mechanics. Right? It takes all of the complicated bits of physics that can confuse orbital dynamics and scales it down to perfect physics. And I actually used this to teach a course in orbital mechanics to high school students in the high school that I went to at one point, a little summer course. And it is a very fun way for them to learn orbital mechanics. They get to kill Kerbals. They get to go through what I call the 5 stages of Kerbal rocket design. First stage is let's see how many boosters we can stick onto something, and then the next one is let's see how big of an engine we can stick on it, and then it's how much fuel can we stick on it. And then they start realizing, oh, there's this sort of it's called the rocket dilemma. The more fuel you put on, the bigger the engine you need. The bigger engine you need, it becomes heavier, so now you need more fuel, which makes it more heavy, and you're always fighting this cycle to try to get the right size engine with the right amount of fuel, and then to see them kind of work their way backwards from I got 87 boosters, and I've got an engine way bigger than it needs to be, and too much fuel, and sort of work their way through, 2 more steps to get back to building an optimized rocket, and then the light bulb goes off, and then the next thing is to teach them how to get to orbit, and then how to rendezvous with another ship in a different orbit, and it's a great learning tool, and I think the kids really enjoyed it because they can. It's also a game. It's not just a simulation, so they can have fun killing Kerbals and going through that process. I watched my nephew do it. I started this channel. I have had Kerbal space programs since Kerbin was flat, and I paid like $2 for it. I keep changing that number. I thought it was 8 at one point, but then I went back and looked, and I think I actually got my first copy for $2, and it's the best $2 I've ever spent because this game just has no end of what you can do to play it, especially with all the mods that are out there now. So that's my story. I'm sticking with it. And so anyway, like I said, I tried to do this as a training tool, as a teaching tool. Sometimes I probably go into too much detail, but I hope people learn from it. Anyway, let's see. We got to build a moon lander. I'm just going to build something really dirty and simple. I don't have a lot of tech right now. I'm not going to worry about. I'll try to get a scientist at least down to the surface. So for that, I'll need a probe core as a starting point. So what's the other thing I need? I'll need some kind of a lander can. Problem solved. I'll need some fuel and an engine to get us down to the surface. So let's start out with something small, like maybe this. I don't want it to be tall. I want it to be as thin as possible, so maybe we'll change this. Because what we'll do is I also want the base to be wide, so I'll stick 4 of these around it. Right? And then onto those, I'll need some kind of landing gear. And right now, all I have is this very basic lightweight one. And of course we don't want, come on, get there. Of course we don't want attachment points floating out in space, so I'll grab another fuel tank. I'll stick it under that one. So now it looks like something that's attached, right? I'll pull these down as far as possible to get them below the engine bell. So now I've got all this space to get an engine in there. So what kind of engine will I use? Let's see. I'll start with the smallest I possibly can, which is Spark. And even though this is thruster weight based on Kerbin, and if I switch it to Mun, you'll see I have a 3-to-1 thrust ratio. But for some reason that can be deceiving, so I just like to get my thruster rate ratio to at least 1-to-1 if it was at Kerbin. So, and I have 3,488 delta V. I need, if you do your landing perfectly, you need 580 delta V to land. You need 100 and I believe it's 80 delta V to circularize. So from a circularized orbit, you need 600 delta V to get down to the ground, and then you're going to need another 200 delta V to get back to orbit. So that's 800 delta V. I suck at landing. I'm not a game player. The way I would do this is I would write a KOS program to do the landing, and I would just press a button and say start, and I would let the computer get me down to the surface. Because you know what? In real life, astronauts don't fly spaceships with their ASWD keyboard. The computers do. And what astronauts do is they press buttons when the computer lights them up. Now that's insulting to astronauts. They have the ability to take control of the spaceship. They're there to take over if the computer messes up. But in reality, everything is really done by the computer. The astronauts are there to monitor the computer. So this is excessive delta V, and it makes my rocket a little taller, but just because if you're going to try to duplicate this, I want to give you as much delta V as you can have when you're trying to land, so you can be sloppy. So that's too weak of an engine, so let's put the next engine up, which is the Terrier engine. Now that gets me 8-to-1, but that's the Moon. Let's go back to Kerbin. So that gets me almost 1.5-to-1. That's the perfect size, and I'm still over 3,000 delta V. So Yahtzee, we got what we want. So now, what are the other things I need to add on here? Well, I need communications, always. So we'll put a Communitron 16S on here. Shift, not Control, X. Well, one of those. Now I can put this one on. These are equivalent antennas, and you get the coolness effect of being able to extend that one. So that's kind of cool. And in the early days, I loved anything that was animated. But now that I'm kind of jaded, I often forget to extend these things, and then I get to a point, I've flown the whole mission, I'm out at the moon, I got everything all set up perfectly, and I forgot to put my antenna out, and now I'm separated from my deployment ship, and I can't control this ship, so the whole mission is a scrub. So to avoid that, I just don't bother with that antenna. Now I'm gonna have to say, this doesn't have any way to return. You see, I don't have any heat shield, I don't have any parachutes. I'm keeping this as light as I possibly can, so I'm gonna need something to get me out there. So we're gonna do this kind of Apollo style, and I'll need a docking port then. So I'll put a docking port up here. Now I can flip this over and attach it onto something that's gonna push me out to space. So I got communication. Now I need power and something to generate power. So come down here, and for this, all I need is a pair of 100 batteries. A pair of them, right? And a pair of panels, and I can put the batteries down here. Put a pair of batteries down here. Once again, I try to keep everything as light as possible. Burt Rutan, as an aircraft designer, he never used to put electric starters on his airplanes because the electric starter required a battery, several feet of very heavy-duty cable going from the starter motor on the engine, the starter motor itself on the engine, for something that you're going to use for the first 15 seconds of your flight. And then from the rest of that point on, it's just weight that you're carrying. In fact, somebody asked me, well, how should I know what I can put on the airplane or not. And he gave the best answer I've ever heard ever, which is you put everything that you think you need on your airplane in a big pile and you throw it all up in the air. And anything that doesn't come back down is perfectly okay to put on your airplane. Okay, so I got batteries now. Some excess weight, unnecessary weight, but I like to have it, is 4 of these landing lights. I'll put them down here in the middle, and now I'll come up here, and I will spin them around until they're all facing out at 45 degrees. So I'll grab this handle here. We'll go click, 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 click. Line them up with the landing gear where they're pointing. Click, click, click. Okay. And then now I want them pointing at the ground. Now, I've got a mod in here called Surface Lights, which should allow me. You can see these things are pivoted; they're hinged. So I should right-click this, and there should be an option down here that's either called Pivot Angle or Deploy Range, and I can slide that slider left and right, and these lights should swivel. And it drives me insane because I got another build, an exact build of this one with even more mods in it, and that mod I have that ability, but in this mod I've got in this build I have that mod that should allow this to be pivot, but it doesn't, and I don't know what's not allowing it to pivot. I've got I put a request into the forums and I'm waiting for somebody to get back to me. But the bottom line is, now the only way I can get these to point down is to do this horrific thing. And I want them down and slightly out. So now I can grab this thing and I can pull them into the center. I'm going to turn off snapping here. Pull them into the center. And it looks like they need to go over to the right a little bit. Please, why are you doing this? Why you do this to me? Go back to local. So, because they're attached at 45-degree angles, the local and absolute are the same. So I got to do this trick of, oh. I had somehow selected the fuel tanks. Back to here. Pick you. Pick you. Oh, now they are aligned, right? I just accidentally picked the fuel cell. So let's grab this and we'll push it towards the center. And we'll grab this and pull it over to the right. And get them in the center. So they're facing down and slightly out. So now what I'll do is go to my action groups, and I'll go to the lights group, which is here, and I'll take those illuminators out of the lights group, and I'll come over to the landing gear group, and I'll add these lights back into the landing gear group, toggle lights. So now when I lower my landing gear, the lights will turn on. When I raise my landing gear, these lights will turn off. And I can leave them sticking out like that a little bit. No sense in hiding them. Okay, so there's my landing lights. But I did something I shouldn't do. I was working on the probe core, which is I call control. So I need, for control, I'd like this thing to be able to dock. So I'm going to need some RCS on it. So we'll put, how many? Put 4 of them in. Up here. Sort of interfere with the antenna in that one, so I'll put my antenna down here. Stick my antenna there. So now I've got RCS to dock, but I need RCS motors. So we'll come up to control, grab the lightweight motors, and we'll put 4 of those on. I'll need to up there. If I turn on center of gravity, which is this little anvil down here. Okay, that's where my ship's center of gravity is, so technically I should have them on either side. We'll go to 4 again. Now if I put 4-way symmetry, I'm going to end up on top of my landing struts, which is going to be obstruct their up and down abilities. So now I got to solve this problem. How can I solve that? I have an idea. Why don't I flip it this way? Okay. That'll work. You know. That'll work. So we'll take this off again. So now I've got control. Am I going to need more than the reaction wheel that's inside of this probe core? I don't know. I might. It's not really super heavy. So I can take that off, and while I'm here, I can put this lightweight ore on there. If it would let me, please pick this again. Now I can't. What's going on? Okay, this has happened before, so I'll go to this. Maybe I'll be able to grab a new one. Yes, put that on, and we'll just ignore this one. So there we go. Now we're below 3,000 now. We're adding more and more weight. I still got 1.33 to 1. So I can put a little more fuel. I don't know. If I put a little more fuel, this is going to go down even more, so we'll leave that alone. Like I said, we need 600 to get down. I usually like to double that, so 1,200 to get down, and only 200 to get back up. So we're 1,400. We're still quite a bit over what we need. Okay, so now we're into just putting on. We haven't finished power yet. I've got batteries, but I need some kind of panels. So we'll come down to electricity. I like the 1x6s. I think they give more area, so we'll put 2 of those. Control Shift X. We'll put those right there. They clip into our RCS a little bit, but a little clipping I allow. In fact, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that and that. I'm going to clip these RCSs, and I'm going to clip those in a little bit. Like that. So now they truly clip it into the, but that's okay. Let's see here what that looks like extended. Zook. Okay, they're not sticking out inside of here, so that's acceptable. And retract them, and then let's put them on a action group. So when I press the brakes, I'll toggle my solar panels. Okay, so that takes care of electricity. I've got battery and a way to generate power. And we're down to 2771, which is still more than we need, but we're getting where I don't want to add too much more weight here. What's the point of going to the moon, though, if you don't collect any science? So this is going to add quite a bit of weight in this next step. So we might end up having to adjust things. Let's get down on searching for science as we're talking here. The biggie here, the real pain in the assy here, is this Science Bay Junior, which is, they couldn't have possibly made it more ridiculously large. And I'm going to want a goo pod, just one. Put it here. Rotate it so I can climb up here and with a scientist and reset it. Down to 2600 delta V. Gonna need a thermometer and a barometer. There. And I believe, let me turn off, there we go. So there were some universal storage parts, and so I just turned them off. Oop. Why aren't you turning off? Janitor's closet. Oh, because you close it out here. Okay, so now it's only showing me valid stock parts. So that's all the science on there. I'm down to 2551, which should still be enough to land. I just need to get one landing in so that I can unlock MNMS, flybys, and eventually landings. And so we'll pick the easiest place we can possibly land on the moon here. So the last thing I need to do, which I know is going to add a little bit of weight, but I just got to have lights. So we'll put 4 of those on. We'll make them white. So I got lights down there on that part of the ship now. So that should be a completed lander. Now, I got the weakest landing gear in the game, and the bell has not got a lot of distance between where we are and the ground. So let's launch this in Kerbin gravity and see what it does. First, let's name it. Moonlander 1. Save it. Oh, I have a 4-man lander that I started to build, so I'm going to cancel this. I'm going to call this Moonlander 2. Okay, and then we'll save it. And then we'll launch it. And I want to see if it's heavy enough to pull the whole ship down to the engine bell in Kerbin gravity. If it can't in Kerbin gravity, it certainly won't be able to do it in moon gravity. Okay. Now, typically, these lights would be on, so I'm going to retract the gear and extend the gear. There you go. And please shut up. Okay, in Kerbin gravity, I now have clearance from the bell. That's good. You can see what's going to happen. I'll have these nice landing lights illuminating my landing spot. I can see something I'm missing already. Unless I want to use RCS to get into and out of the spaceship, we kind of need ladders, but I'd have to go from here, angle it down to there, and then come down to the ground. And moon gravity is so light, it's probably easier just to use RCS to get it in and out of the ship. Because I can't put any landed science down. I don't have an engineer in this build. And I only have one inventory spot. Right? And I can't put anything in there of any substance, so no landed science from breaking ground. I don't even know if I have the parts yet. So let's revert this back to the assembly building. So I'm going to call that a completed lander. I'm going to control it from its docking port. I'm going to grab it from its docking port, and I'm going to go WW. So that's the way it's going to go up to space, with these retracted. Hook. Okay, that's the way it's going to space. So I'll need something for it to dock to. So I'll need another docking port. So this part of the ship has to be able to land back at Kerbin, and it has to be, if I'm going to put a scientist in here, it's going to have to be probe controlled. So it will need a probe core. Probe core. Okay. It'll need a capsule for the Kerbal to ride in. Now this capsule is 0.746 tons. This capsule is only 0.556, and I can use this to land back at Kerbin, but generally that's poo-pooed upon. So I'll take the little quarter of a ton loss and put that on it. So what's next? Well, I'll need some kind of parachutes, right? Probably a good idea. So we'll take a pair of these radial mount parachutes and we'll stick them on here. And these radial mount chutes are ridiculous. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to scale them. Not to half, but to maybe 70%. I got a pair of them, so that should be enough to land this ship, and we're gonna test it in a minute because I have a mod called Real Chute that allows me to adjust the parachute without being cheaty. It'll increase the diameter of the chute, the area of the chute, so that it brings down the ship, or the part that I want to land at the speed I want it to come down at. So it's going to need, this is coming back to Kerbin, so it's going to need a heat shield. Bonk. It's going to need a decoupler. Nope, not a 2.5. 2 decoupler. It's going to have to get all the way to the moon and circularize, so that's roughly 900 plus 200 is 1100, and then it has to get all the way back to Kerbin, which is going to be another 180-ish, 200-ish, so that's 1100, 35. It's going to need like at least 15 to 1600 delta V. So let's see, and it won't have this this thing coming. It needs 800 or I'm sorry, 900 plus what did I say, 200 to circularize. It needs 1100 to get to the moon, but to come back it won't be carrying this lander, so it's going to have a lot more thrust. I guess what I'm saying is it can be pretty close to the 1100. So let's put the largest one of those on. If I have to, I'll expand it out and make it bigger, but let's see what that does with the Terrier. Okay, that's almost 1-to-1 thrust, and this is getting me 1800 delta V, which should be plenty to get to the moon, to circularize, and then to come back from the moon. Since I already have RCS on the lander, I could actually take the RCS and put it on this, and then just bring the lander up, and then do the rendezvous part with this, which would take a little more weight off the lander, wouldn't it? So let's do that. Let's pull these off, and we don't need these, and we don't need these. And what we'll do is we'll rendezvous with this part. So we'll make that the root part again here. We'll pull the lander off, and we'll pull the lander. What are you doing here? Oh, it is. No, what did I? What? What the? Do I have that upside down? I do. Glad I'm doing this. So let's make this the core. Let's take that off. Oh, for the love of fucking Pete. Let me grab it, please. Thank you. Okay. Sorry. I'm old, I'm retired, and I'm grumpy. All the time. So there we go. That's the way we want it. Now, this thing already has RCS monopropellant built in on top of it. That's a double whammy extra goodie. So let's see where the center of gravity is. Once again, it doesn't need the heavy thrusters, so we'll put... I could actually just put these right at the center of gravity, but I'll put them above and below. No, not 5, 4. So we'll put 4 of those there. And we'll put 4 of these down here. Which is also, I don't have to worry about occlusion from the landing gear. So this is getting better and better all the time. And believe me, that's going to be enough RCS to rendezvous and dock the one, or to dock the one time that it has to come back home. So now I've gained, let's don't take that off. Let's take this and reattach it. What did it just do? Control Z. Control Z. Control Z. Please don't tell me I lost all my work. Control Z. Control Z. Give me it back, please. Oh my god. Did I lose all my work? See, now I can't grab it, and if I go out and come back in, it will delete it. This is a disaster. Now, how do I resolve this without having to completely rebuild my lander? Oh my god. This is a disaster. See, I can't even select this ship now. It's in some fucked up mode. And it's only going to let me get control back if I leave the VAB and come back, which means I'm going to either lose this ship completely or I'm going to lose this ship completely. Did I make any attempt to save it? Save and continue. That at least saves that part. Kerbal, why you do this to me? It's okay. We'll fix it. It's fixable. Give me a chance to get a drink. So that I can have to pee shortly. Alright, go back in. The lander will be gone. But I think I might have saved it. No, I lost it. Because when I did that save before I left, I overwrote the save I made of the lander. Oh my god almighty. We gotta completely rebuild the lander. Completely. Jesus. Okay, wait. It has a autosave of it. So let's load that. Oh, thank the Lord. So we're gonna call this lander. I'm just gonna put X here so that it's a different thing. Now I'm gonna bring back what we saved as lander 2. We're gonna merge. Alright, I win. You whoop. Okay, so I should not be so sweary. Should not be so grumpy. I try, but sometimes the grumpy comes through. Start retracted. Take this guy and put it down. And so the whole point of this was to see what this thing is going to weigh without all of this control crap on it. So I got us from 2,500 back up to 27. 28 would be ideal, but take what I can get. Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Now it's not gonna let me attach. Nope, certainly isn't. What a comedy of errors. Okay, we'll save this again. Right? And then we'll just kill everybody. And we'll come back here. Reload this one. And we'll come back here. Merge it with 2. Oh, fucking mighty. Bring back to... We'll get this to work. I swear to God I'll get this to work. But I'll probably take twice as long as it would take me to rebuild everything totally from scratch. Okay, so I'm to control from here. So that should have a detached node now. Come up here. And let's save. Let's get the Lander 2. No, the Lander 2X. Load. I didn't want load, I wanted merge. Take a deep breath, Rick. Take a deep breath. 1, 2, 3. Load that. Come up here. 2X. Merge that. There we go. Finally. Alright. Oh my God. See, this is what had screwed up. Somehow it's created this mystical, magical, out in space second probe core. Okay, let's do this. Kill it all. Yeah, no, don't save. Kill it all. Bring back 2X. Load. See where the mystical, magical... See, now it's not there. The mystical, magical, extra probe core is not there. It's there. It's in the file somehow, but it's not showing up. If I say, see, that's already the root part, and now if I try to merge it with this part, it'll come back. Oh, it's gonna let, is it gonna let me? Okay, there's the two things, and now if I merge them, or connect them, I'm not going to question it. The extra floating thing is gone. We're going to call this Lander 2X, or not 2X, we're going to call this Lander 2 staff. I do that because this is eventually going to be the whole launcher. And once again, sorry for losing my cool, but we're getting there. Hey, Kaputs, thanks for dropping in. Are you still there? I didn't notice you in the stream. Still there? Yeah, Vab Kraken. Oh, there you go. So you must still be here. Okay. So I'm building the first part of the stream. I took the equivalent of a Jumbo 64 out to my moon station so I can refuel things, and I went through the entire build of it. It was perfect. I went through the whole rendezvous and docking procedure again, and I broke it down in like simple, really simple steps. I didn't have anybody interrupting me, and I was having to... That one guy that was in the stream the other day, I didn't want to ignore him, but at the same time he was making it more boring. And so I got the whole thing docked, and then I looked over because it sounded like my mic cut out again, which happens periodically, and I looked over it and I realized I hadn't started streaming. So we started this stream from the point of already having that refueler docked, and I said what I'm going to do at the end of the stream is I'm going to create I'm going to do another rescue, so I can at least... I like to do a rendezvous demonstration every time, because I keep trying to get it to where it's quick enough where people are willing to watch the whole thing, the whole process, and then actually try to learn to implement it, because truly it is the best way to dock two ships to do a Holman transfer. So anyway, let's go on to getting this guy down to the moon so I can get some science. I need to get the either more science experiments, and I need to get the Gigantor solar panels and the 4K batteries. So, okay, so this guy's going to get all the way out. Once it gets out there, it's going to need all of the things that I said, and I see it doesn't have any RCS on it, so let's control from here. Okay, get rid of this guy for now. And this guy has monopropellant in it, and for the one time it's going to dock, it's not going to need any more monopropellant. So we'll come up to control. We're going to use the lightweight RCS ohms engines. I'll need 4 of those. I could put them right at this, just one set at the CG, but I'll splurge here. Oop, Shift X. I'll splurge here and we'll put 8 on. Up here at the top and up here at the bottom. Okay, CG is going to be close to between them. It's going to move down as fuel comes out of this, so close enough. So control. Do I need additional reaction wheels? Well, I'm going to be carrying this guy out, so maybe a little bit wouldn't hurt. So we'll come up here, and while I'm on control, I'll do all the things I think I need for control. So there's control done. Next is I'm going to need power, and I'm going to need to generate power, so I'll come down to electricity. I try to do this in a logical order so I don't forget things. So this is going to have to land, so I'll put retractable, a pair of retractable solar panels. Boom. And I'll set them up on an action group. Call it brakes. I've already got something on that. I'll call it gear. Pick these and I'll say toggle solar panels. Okay, so they're on an action group now, and then power. I need a way to store power. Once again, I'm not going to need a lot on this ship, so I'm just going to put a pair of these. I'll put them down. Well, they'll just. No, this isn't re-entering, so we'll put them down here. Well, maybe up a little bit so they're not obstructing that. So there's that. So control, power generation, power. That's all the main things I can think of. So now let's go just to the ornamental things. We'll put some lights on it, make them white. Okay, so there's that. So now I need to get this whole assembly out to the moon. Boom. So I do not have enough thrust now, and I also have to make sure I'm not stealing any fuel from up here. So I need to disable that. So that ain't enough. I need, 900 to get to the moon. Say another 200. That's 1100. Plus a little bit of a reserve. I need at least 1500 delta V in this. So I need more. And I don't want to make it longer. So what I'm going to do is just redesign this section and then move everything back over to here. I'm going to get this guy. And I'm going to get this guy. And I'm going to get this guy. Problem solved. 1800 is plenty to get to the moon. And now all I have to do is give it a pair of these. Sorry. Apologies. Got a cough. Pair of those. It can still get by with the lightweight ones of these. Pair there. A pair down here. Steal these lights and put them up here. Steal this engine. Might need a bigger engine now. Oh, I already have it on here. Oh yeah, no, 1-to-1 and 1900 delta V. So I'm sorry, and 1800 delta V and 0.48, which is still good because I'll be in vacuum and just take a little longer to burn. So there we go. There's our whole Apollo-style delivery system. And I might want to reinforce this joint a little bit. So just to complete this section, what I'm going to do is grab this. Some struts, and I'm going to strut here oops, from here to here. Right. It's okay. Goes through things, but that's gonna make this more rigid, so I won't have a spaghetti going to space. Okay, so we got that and that. So there's our whole delivery thing. So I'm gonna save it so I don't lose anything here to the Kraken again. Almost there. Almost ready. 1.8 decoupler down here. And then I do have a couple of parts bonds that aren't stock. One is called decoupler shroud. So when you get this goofy situation, I don't want to have to put a whole shroud down here. So I have decoupler shroud, and I just click that. There we go. Okay, then now let's build. I need something that's got 4,000 delta V to get me to orbit, or close to it, because this is in vacuum now. So in atmosphere I'd need 3,400 to get to orbit, but I just build everything to vacuum. So one, at least two, probably three, maybe even four of these. Engine. Let's see if the skip. Well, no, that's too big an engine. Let's see if the Bobcats. How far do we hit me? So 1.35 to 1. If I throw another engine on, then this core stage is going to be anemic, and it's still going to be in atmosphere. So we'll start from this point, and then I could fiddle around with boosters, but you know what? I finally got somebody in my stream, so I'm going to try not to do that. I'm going to try to do this as fast as I can. So I'm going to copy this whole thing. Appreciate you stopping in, Kaputs. You're like my maximum number of people in my stream has been like 2. So but I did say in my bio in there that I'm not like a good entertaining streamer. So I got up mic, yes. So we'll come down here and actually I want to be here. Grab 2 of those. That there. These and stick them on there. They're twisted. Now they're on straight. Once again, it gets me close. Let me see if I put fuel lines on. I should get some extra. 4. These are 126. 34. What if I bring the main engines into here? Still 34 because of the cross feed. This isn't really going to help me. Still 34, which isn't what I want. And I really don't want to steal from this getting to the moon. It's excess, but I don't want to steal from it. So I think I had the thrust reduce these. What am I thinking? I got an easy fix for this. Grab another one of these and stick them on there. 37, 94. That should be enough for this to make it all the way to orbit. So let's take those off. I like to take the decouplers. Oops, sorry, it's actually attached to this tank. Take the decouplers and put them up towards the top of the boosters. This way the decouple force will push the tops away and they'll swing down and under the ship. And then I'll take the whole decoupler setup and I'll pull it up as high as I can. I can't go up. Please. You're upsetting me. There we go. I can really only go up to about here to make sense, but it's okay if they're offset like that. Here. Pull that up. Okay, now something doesn't quite make sense here. Because now this has jumped up to 5,000. Did I really have enough thrust? Did I really have enough thrust? Oh yeah, got... I don't know, this was, something ain't right. Wait a second. Where is this engine at? Where's this engine at? It's down here. So those are there. This is this guy and this is that guy, so they could go together. These two are my lander. All of a sudden my everything went crazy. How can this be just 0.47 thrust ratio here? What happened? Okay, where are my decouplers at? They're way up here. Okay, so that's 1.35, which is fine. How does adding these on cause my thrust to weight to go nuts? Oh, I think the decouplers were being counted up here. They were maybe up too far. That's what happened out there. Okay, moving on. Let's pull these back up. So that's fine. Let's take these and bring them down just a little bit. So 3585. That'll get me close to orbit. I might have to steal a little bit from this. So I still do need more on the top. I just don't need a whole nother one of these. So, something's weird. I just added more fuel. Nothing changed. I'm having some serious valve cracking stuff going on here, guys. Let's see. How can I resolve this problem now? Let's take you off. Let's put a pair of you on. At the top, right there. Get them centered. That. This, take this. Please pick it up. And we're gonna put that down there. So it's 35. It did this added 100. So maybe I need one bigger. It's that one, so we'll go with the one bigger one. So I guess we will try this one. Stick you underneath it. Okay, 3,800, that'll get me to orbit, okay. Limited how far I can pull this up, so let's do A. I'm attached by this one. So we'll pull these up a little higher than I normally would. Grab this and pull these up as high as I can. That's looking proper. So now let's get the shock cones on. I think it's this one. Crazy overkill on the cones there. Put this in the pairs and we'll put one here. Put another one. Here. Lots of gimbal down here, so I don't need fins. Everything right. It's gonna come down into here. I had thrust limited these, so let's jump those back up. Bring them back down. It's plenty. I like 1.33, but that'll work. Then those will drop off, then that'll kick in. Now I just need a pair of launch clamps. Save it so we don't get the Kraken making us have to rebuild it all again. Put the launch clamps above the main engines. Save it again. Not going to worry about lights down here. Unload my ship. You can see I've been doing a lot of rescue missions. I have a real astronaut card and haven't had to buy a single astronaut. So let's take who has no stars and is a scientist? Nobody. Everybody has 1 star. So let's take Bob. We'll put him in a lander can this way I don't have to move him. Okay, so we got Bob going out, Bob coming back. Save everybody. Do that. All right, we're on our way to moon. Are you still with me, Kaputs? Maybe not. Okay. I wish I could tell who was in the stream at all times, or who is in chat at all times, because I click on this thing and it gives me this big long list, and I know I don't have like 15 people in the stream. So I'm gonna have to Google and see how I can see who's actually in my stream. So anyway, talking to myself again. Let's turn on the lights. Come on, turn on, please. Turn on. Turn on, please. I have like no control. There we go. I was over in another screen, that's why. Here. Okay. Alright, lights are on, SAS is on, full throttle. Camera's correct. On our way to speed. Oops, a daisy. I know what that's all about. Let's have the. I should have saw the ground was up. So let's come back here. And let's make this probe control the core part. Save. I wish in the VAB it would show you what the nav ball is going to look like so you can see what's up before you go to the pad. But I guess it's not too much to have you remember to pick a part that's pointing up. Okay, turn on the lights, full settings, full throttle, camera right. Nav ball's pointing up, which is good. You can see this. Good roll control. This way, Bob's not going up on the side. For 60 degrees when my altitude is between the pale blue and the medium blue. And the tin canning that you're hearing is thanks to kaputs. I don't have any attribution set up. I need to do that. It's called ship effects, so it gives you that realistic rattling and tin canning that you're hearing. So it's getting a little squirrely here. A little way too squirrely. Let's do this. I could have... this would work, but let's... What if I do that I lose more? I was going to put... let's just revert to launch and do this. It's very dirty because of that What? Poo-poo. I'm going to have to put a fairing over this thing. Doggone it. Which is going to add a lot of weight. But the drag that it reduces might be worth the weight. So let's revert to that and get this thing a little cleaner. So where do I want to start the fairing? I'm going to have to do it from all the way down here. Fairing. Fairing. 0.85, which is... 0.85 is kind of nice because I can go straight up. Here I can fair it out. I'm intersecting something down here, so we'll do that. Then we'll go up to here. Do that. Do this. Do this. This will stick onto here, but then I'm going to have that goofy wonkiness. So we'll take this guy out, that guy out, this guy out. Replace that with a small tank to make up for the fuel loss. Put that there, put the batteries back on. And I got whack-a-whack. Wow, did that get me that much more because of the streamlining of that? Staging is still right. Wow. All I can say is wow. Let's take that off. Takes the whole thing off. Fairing makes that much of a difference? No, it's something's goofified again because I can't possibly have 0.46 delta V in here. So something's really starting to get me cheesed. So that gets me to the moon. That's fine. Come on. That gets me just this alone. Oh no, this is the stage getting me to the moon. Okay, so this is where I'm trying to get to 4,000. So now I'll put you back on. Here, you back on. And I'm at 39, so yeah, I do need this tank. Where'd I put it? Right there. 36, I gotta put the nose cone back on. And take this whole thing here. Pull it down. Like that. And then I can get a little bit closer to 4,000 by putting a pair of these. Like that. 6. This has got to be in the stage. This has got to be in its own stage. 36. 34 is right now. 36. It's weird. The fuel line should have gotten me more. Not sure what's going on there. But this should get me there. So let's check staging one last time. these go off, that launches, then those drop off, then this guy kicks in, and we'll put this guy, because I'm not sure if we'll be ready to drop it at that point. We'll put it up here at the top. Then this is my lander. Okay, save this whole thing. Let's launch again. Is my mic still working? Yes. What I hate having to constantly do is my mic still working, but oh well. That made a significant difference in the Delta V. Putting this on there. Might need fins. I might need fins. This is a little bit wonky here. Just gotta stay on this. I don't hear my, okay, I didn't hear my mic there for a second. Down a little bit. It's about the right spot for 20K. Down a little bit. Okay, our trajectory is now looking good. Take a little more power out, down a little bit. Boosters. Temporarily back to full. Down a little bit. It's okay. Take a little thrust out. Keep it on that 10 degrees above the horizon line. Okay, pushing our apoapsis away again. All the way down here now. Almost at 50K, so we'll come to prograde. So we're almost through the heating phase. pushing our periapsis out. We're increasing our velocity. We want to get to 2300. When we get to 2300, the apoapsis will start pushing out quickly, but the main thing I'm doing here is pushing my periapsis out so I don't have to burn as much when I make the top of the orbit. I'm at 50K now, so I can get rid of this guy. I didn't make it clamshell, which would have been prettier. Okay, that was a much prettier launch. Say 22. As I approach 23, this will start pushing out. I'm already coming up to being the periapsis being over outside the planet. And now you can see 61, 64, 70. Boom, there's 80K. And I'm 40K, so I can still dump this stage and it will deorbit. So let's see how much delta V I need to get to orbit. So and burn out prograde until the PE and the AP swap, which is right around in there. So I only need 32 dV to get to orbit. So rather than try to take it out of the 60 I have left here, what I'm gonna do is, because by the time this is just gonna go like, and all of a sudden this is gonna be over 70K and it'll be stuck in orbit. So what I'll do now is just decouple it now, give a short burst just to push it away. We'll put our panels out. I think our panels I put on gear. Oh, there actually are gear though. That's funny. Let's do gear. And then let's manually put these out. Problem solved. Okay, we're in the coast phase now. We're coasting up to above the atmosphere. And of course, as we're doing that, we're losing AP. So what I'll do is just do a quick push us back over 8K again. I'll probably have to do that again. Let's actually push it out a little bit higher than that. There we go. That 2K should keep me above 80K by the time I'm ready. There we go. Pretty little Apollo style thing going out. I can warp to get above 70K. 9 a.m. here in Michigan. Hope everybody's doing well wherever you are in the world. Coming on 70K. Here we go. Okay, we're officially in space now. Looks like I need to give it just a little burst again to get above 80. Okay. Okay. Probably unnecessary. Okay. So I'm at 1800 delta V to get to the moon, and that's going to be plenty, and get back home. And coming home, I'm not going to be pushing a LEM, so I'll be a lot lighter. Target the moon. Okay. Oh wait, before I do that, how about if we actually do that circularization? Program. Warp to the burn. Here we go. 10 seconds to burn. Two seconds. Burning. Okay, that was plenty. I'm kind of wonky here, but that's fine. I don't want to use any more Delta V. So, no. Now, getting to the moon. Moon is our target. Put the moon at 12 o'clock. As we come over the horizon, right? As we come around here, we're in orbit, and right tangent to this point is where we'll start to see the moon rise. So we'll put a node right there. Or you can just stick it at 3 o'clock. It'll work as well, but this will get you a more efficient. And there's the free return. We'll focus the moon. And I want to land. I'm below the moon, so I'm going to need a mid-course, or I'm below the equator, so let's add a node right here. Come back in again. Get to where we can kind of see that, and then okay, now we're equatorial. Go back to the first node and burn program. First node, thank you. Forward. And what we'll do is we'll do that. That's kind of low, so let's bring it back up. Meters. Let's bring it back up. Bring it up to about 15. Okay, that's a good point to start looking. Okay. Turn to prograde. 1 minute from the burn. Let's warp up to the burn. 10 seconds to the burn. 5 seconds. Okay, burn. Ship. Thrust. I like the idea of the next run through doing Kerbalism. I like the idea of the possibility of engine failures. You can't run an engine for too long of a period. You can't restart an engine too many times. Just that aspect of it alone, I really like the idea of. And other components can fail. You have to have life support. You have to worry about radiation, all sorts of things. Looks like I had some lightning below me. This is Black Rack's volumetric clouds. It gives you rain, thunder, lightning. See our apps is getting pushed out. Sit back, relax, have a little something to drink. I'm sitting quite a ways back from my mic, and every time I was swallowing, I could see a little hit on the microphone. It's very sensitive. Although it's kind of off to my right-hand side. Okay. Because of the Oberth effect, the farther and farther this gets out, the faster and faster it's going to move away. I really have to figure out that mic dropping, or I'm gonna have to roll back to something stupid like a cell phone mic. I've got $300 invested in mic and controller and all of that crap, and it keeps crapping out, and I don't know it's crapped out until God knows how long. Past the point that I want to be. Okay, so we got some up to do here. Oh, some down. Got some in I need to do though. I did stop that burn a little early, it's okay. I said I wanted that at 15. I'm not in the equator anymore, so I gotta bring this down. Get it back on the equator. That's of course gonna change where my periapsis is, so I gotta bring it back a tad. Whoopsie, not that much of a tad. Wow, now it's so sensitive on it, so close. Can I? Do I dare? Oh, you bugger. I just can't grab it. Pull it short enough. That's it. I'm declaring victory there. Am I on? Could probably come down just a little bit. Okay. There we go. So that's coming up in 29 minutes. It's going to be... I don't know what it's going to be. It's going to need a maneuver node burn is what it's going to need. Please select SAS when I select SAS. Okay, we're on the maneuver node. 29 minutes from the burn. We'll warp up. 7, 2, 1, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 10, 6, 5, 4. Okay. 1 second burn. We'll just do this manually. Two seconds. Back to the maneuver node. Starts to run away from you, just stop the burn, get back on it. Continue the burn. So that should put us pretty much on the equator. I'm a little above. No, I'm a little above. It's okay, I'm not going to sweat it. And I should be close, and I'm a little high as well. So let's make sure I'm prograde. Let's bring us down a little bit. Very sensitive. Good enough. It's too sensitive to be playing around with. Although I don't like the fact that I'm looking like I'm... No. Actually, I'm not. I'm on the horizon here. It's my space station. That's not quite. on the horizon. So let's see, let's work to here. And then I've got to do a moon landing, and I suck at landing on the moon. I really despise landing on the moon. So we're going to find a really, really nice smooth place to put this guy down. Sorry. Yeah, man. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw that space station go flying past, and I'm like, whoa. Okay, let's turn retrograde. I think maybe this is why people don't stay in my stream very long. I don't just fly from the hip. I like actually doing everything by the book. Of course, I could use MechJib, have it automatically do all of this. Looking for the AP and the PE to swap sides. Right there. Right there again. There. Okay, we're in a circular orbit now. Or we will be in a minute. It's going to be a retrograde burn. Oh, that's a long burn, 43 seconds. What the hell's going on? Burn time is 42 seconds. Oh, what an idiot I am. Instead of warping, I was burning. Out of maneuver now. It's okay. I'm going to have to do that anyway, so it's not like it's disastrous. It's just you don't want to make a habit of making these kinds of mistakes. Where am I at here? 15? Yeah, I'm at 15, so... Okay, that's close enough to circular. And I'm past the burn point. Wonderful. Retrograde. See? See, you get tunnel vision. Get deep down into the it's really not the stress funnel, but you just get you gotta not get too focused on one thing. Right here, so this is coming down more than I want. That's because I'm out here. So I'll let that come down a little more. And then we'll stop it here. Kill this node. I want to bring this in. I want to push that out. So I want to turn... in. radio in. And now this will come in and this will go out. So this is up to where I am, and now I look to where that is, and 17 by 18 is fine for landing. So now, let's get into daylight. Apparently you can't do that when you're in orbit. For the life of me, I can't get in a position where I'm seeing the moon. There it is, below me. Let's warp this thing into daylight. Thank you. I gotta work on planet shine. I think I need a little more ambient light. So let's put the lander panels out. Let's turn normal. Okay, so now I'm normal. Let's go wings level. Let's go over a little bit. Okay, now here's where we find out if we made any mistakes over on this side or this side. I'm going to decouple here. Make sure the scientist is in the lander can. I'm going to assume he is. Oh, I didn't realize I needed clipping here, but that's okay. Let's dock. Switch back to the lander cam. Good sign. I see Bob there. Now Bob has no RCS, so what I'm going to do is switch back to this guy, turn RCS on, and I'm going to just give myself ever so little so we separate. And I'm going to start thinking about, where I want to land. Like, right in there would be wonderful. Not so. So where am I? So I got a long ways to get in here. Like this right in here looks nice and easy. Let's do that. Let's do a save. And I permit myself to revert landings because I suck at them. So we're going to burn retrograde. So we come in right in that area. Maybe up just a little. And that gives me this whole area to come down in that looks nice and flat. So let's turn retrograde now that I'm separated from the main ship. Let's put our landing gear down. Turn to wings level. Mic's still working? Yep. I'm going to pause right here for a second because I took that drink about 10 minutes ago and now I got to pee. I'll be right back. Stand by. Don't go anywhere. Don't you take my chair, pigeon. dog has gotten into the warm spot chair. She pushes her head down, squishes herself in so that she looks as comfortable as possible so that Papa couldn't possibly want to move her. Oh, you're such a meanie, Papa. Got your own little bed over here. I know it's not all warm like Papa's butt, but it's your own spot. Okay, get this back in front of me. Mic still working? Yep. Okay. Headset's back on. I am back. Thank you for standing by. Is it flight? Okay, 300 Delta V coming up in 43 seconds. How about if we activate the engine? Always forget to do that. Go to surface mode. There's the other thing I always forget to do. Try to figure out where we're going to come in here. It's kind of cheaty. But I can come up here and turn on this and this. And I can see it's kind of wanting me to come in here. I'm going to try to pull it forward a little bit. We're at the burn point. Boy, when the command pod zipped past me there, my heart kind of jumped into my throat. I can actually come over this way a little bit to get onto the maneuver mode a little better. Okay, now that's just totally zipped away, so we'll go back to normal. Or, excuse me, retro. No, not retro. Go back to this way. Up is down, down is up, right is left, cats or dogs. Thoroughly getting confused. X. Wow, something is not quite right. I'm actually moving away from the target. I'm moving away from the target. Moving away from the target. Is that possible? Where am I? I'm not up here, am I? I don't know because I didn't change the name. Map. Where am I? In here somewhere. Where am I? There I am. Let's just not panic. Go to retrograde. Okay, go to prograde. No, stay in retrograde. Change our direction here. Okay, get my altitude, get my fuel. This is going to be the dirtiest landing ever. Okay, first I got to get oriented to what is up and what is down, because I'm like pitching what I should be going down and I'm pitching up, and it's really getting me confused. So let's go forward again. Okay, let's get everything going forward again. Slightly above the horizon. There's the correct landing place. There we go. Now let's turn over this way a little bit. Let's pull it that way. Okay, let's get retrograde and pull it that way. That's It's looking like a good spot to me. So now let's get back to retrograde. I didn't burn up too much delta V. So I should be good. Alright. What are you doing, Gadget? Still got my mic? Yeah. Okay, now I'm just going to wait till I'm over it. And then I'm going to cut the crap out of my delta V. What's the angle I'm going to come in at here? Okay. Looking at my suicide burn time, here's 1 minute. What happens is I lose my nerve in here and I start burning retrograde while I'm still way out here. And then the next thing I know, I pull my landing zone into something like right on the edge of this or something stupid. So I just gotta maintain my calm. See, I'm so tempted to slow this speed down here. I might have to because I'm getting my suicide burn here. Time is getting down to kind of close. Just stay with it. Don't. Keep the faith. Keep the faith. Keep the faith. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 2, burn. Okie dokie, right below me. Okie dokie, right below me. Okay, make sure pointed surface normal. Now, just don't screw the pooch. In fact, I'm going to save it right here. Oh. Apparently I'm not going to save it right there. For a second. I'll go back up. Still 120 meters above the ground, so don't get crazy. Theoretically, I could come in at this speed all the rest of the way. Cut power. Now I can breathe again. Although I have to admit that was pretty much picture perfect. Actually, I don't need this anymore. Oh wait. Oh, I guess once it's on the ground, I can't. There we go. I can turn it. Okay, back to this. Okay, let's go into get a nice picture here. Around it. That's a nice picture. I got any moons? Oh, the hills are nice over there. Kind of like both. I think I'm going to get one picture kind of like this. Like that. Snip. And then one like this, so we can see the boulder crop that I came close to landing on. Snip. Do another last one like this. Snap. Okay, bring all this back. And deploy all. And I didn't bring any of the science with me because I don't think I even have it. Okay. I do want to plant a flag, so just drop down. Over here. I think over here's a good place for a flag. Drop this way. Yeah, that's a nice picture for a flag. Put down the flag. Boom. We are in the far east far crater. East. Where's it? Okay. East far. What? East far. I'll get this yet. East. Far side. Crater. First one landing. Hermit. Peace. Worlds. And we're giving him the finger. Okay. Come in with that. Get this kind of picture perfect. F2. Bob, turn to the camera. It's framed nicely and snap a picture. Ah, why did you look away? Snap a picture. Okay. Back here. Oh, I didn't even see you come into the stream. Are you still there, Diggs? And welcome to the stream. Just did my first landing on the moon in my stock playthrough here with Bob. I've been doing a lot of rendezvous to try to teach people how to do rendezvous. But I needed to get some more science, so I had to, and I want to unlock Miss mission, so I landed. Oh, I don't see any reply, so maybe you're not hearing me. Still here. I get so focused I don't look over at the chat screen, so people come in, say hi, I don't respond, and they leave. So I apologize for that. What I need is to get something added to my mod so I can see when people are in the chat and at least give me some kind of audible ding or something so I know somebody has entered the chat. Okay. Sorry for missing you, Diggs. Okay, so I should have all the science now. I don't have any EVA science that I brought out with me, so there's nothing I can do there. Let's get over here a little bit. Let's come over here a little, over here a little, back towards the ship a little. There we go. Get our retro pack. It's up here. Okay, rest up. Forward, no, up more. Forward. 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 God, I suck at flying things. Yeah, let's bang into everything. Let's come back. Try it again. This time, be smart. Okay, so W is forward, so go up. Forward W, and then F. F. Thank you. And that is why I suck at landing, because I am not an eye-hand coordination. I have a master's degree in aeronautical engineering, and I was focused on control systems. So if I was really doing this, I would press a button and it would all be automated. And I can do that with MechJet. Not this particular task, but I don't want to deal with the stigma of people going nuts because I use MechJet, and therefore I could never be a real astronaut, because we all know that real astronauts fly their spaceships with their ASWD space keyboards, and you know, they're not there just to press buttons when the computers light them up. No, that's not the case. It's somebody's wet dream. Store that. Cut that down. Take all the sides. Oop, go into the capsule board. Zoom back. That's kind of a neat zoom in. Now I can do a crew report now. Take that. EVA. Now take that crew report out of the capsule. Board the capsule. Okay, it's already there, so it's alright. That is so cool looking. Okay. So unfortunately, I don't have a lot of science. I only had 6 science experiments. Not even that. 5 science experiments. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4. And a crew report. That's all I got. That's all I got. Crap. Alright, I should have brought those in before landing. I do have enough Delta V to do another landing, but I just don't dare try it because I suck so much at landing. Let's do a save before we take off. Let's see where I am. Where would I have to go to do another landing? Oh, there's the canyons. That would be great to try and land in. Yeah, sure. Let's take off and go east and then see what we got. Wow, it was kind of cool the first 3 times, but now this is getting old, having to zoom in 400 miles. Okay, where's east? This is north. Southeast is going up. SAS is on. Okay. Cross a little bit. Heading east. East. Yeah, we're only at 7. We're already down to 700, so no, I'm not gonna bother attempting that. Back up to here. above there. That's a good height to rendezvous at. So circularize here. So I'll circularize up here. To the PE and the AP swap sides. Second burn. Discount my target. Check to see our inclination. Okay, step one, get in the same plane as your target. So I need to come down. This is the first thing I'm going to hit is this one here. So put a maneuver node right on that ascending node. And burn anti-normal until that comes down to 0. To anti-normal. Minutes to the burn. Surface and orbit should be the same. Let's make sure that's the case. Here I come around. 2. And the burn, very fast burn. Started to go back up on me, so let's see what we got here. Where do we end up? At 0. That's what we want. So now I've matched planes. Next thing to do is look for oh, where's my ship? Here it is. So I am in the higher orbit. So I want him, when he gets to here, I want to be where I am right now. So this is kind of the, I want to be level with him at the 6 o'clock position when we're here. So let's work him around to do that. This could take a few orbits. Especially since we're so close to the same orbit already. I know he's going to have to be very close to me because we're so close to the same orbit. Looks good to me. So now I'll put a maneuver node out in front of myself here, right there, add the node. And I will burn. Oops, I didn't want to do that. I untargeted him as my target. I always do that. No. Oh, I didn't untarget him. That's good at least. So now I will bring my orbit height down until it passes through his, and when that happens, I get these 2 close approach markers. Now I can just grab the maneuver node and drag it along here until I get to the point where I want to rendezvous with him. Or I get the point of closest approach. So there's 9, so there's 100 meters apart right there if I burn at that point. Okay. So that's going to be retrograde. What the hell? Stack lander. There's nobody aboard the lander? No, there's got that scared the shit out of me. Okay, we're not warping. I got 4 minutes to figure out what the hell's going on. I've got control. Stacklander has no operational SAS module and no pilots on board. Excuse me, but what is this? What is this right here? Hibernation is off. It's default. This is an operational. That's an operational probe core, sir. Why you say I have no control? And I mean I have no control whatsoever. There's no operational. Okay, first of all, let's go in here. Go to command. Rename the ship. One. Lander. And it is in fact a lander. Accept. Now, freeze the game so I can think. I got 2 minutes to sort this out. Today has been plagued with bugs, so I'm going to go into here. Bring this so you can see what I'm looking at here. KSP, have, probe, core, and ComNet connection, getting message, no operational probe core. ComNet, no connection after decoupling. No, that's not the problem. Probe core not working. Lost communication connected. No ComNet. Why is the probe uncontrollable? Let's just start with this one. Probe core controlled craft, plenty of electrical charge, SASC, and SAS control. I can set the throttle to 0, and I'm not remote guidance. So I'm already not what he's doing because I can't get SAS control. All right, let's change this to something simpler. SAS isn't transmitting as a probe control point. If you can't Connect SAS. Either look if the probe is controllable by batteries or ComNet range. If the pilot is on board, I don't have a pilot. Is it possible? Okay, let's go back into the game here. Let's go back into the game. Okay, according to this, I have everything. According to this, I have everything. You can see I have a ComNet connection. In fact, I have like 15 ComNet connections. So why is it telling me ComNet first step? Okay. What is the exact message? Moonlander has no operational SAS modules. Okay. Save my time. 2 minutes. No operational. Bitch, my memory is not for shit. Okay, turn on SAS. Toggle SAS. Lander has no operational SAS modules. No operational SAS modules. Okay. Go back over here and let's search for that. It's no operational SAS modules. No operational SAS pilot or pilots on board. Are you sure they're actual pilots inside? Not scientists. If you really need SAS, you control add a probe core, right? Which is what I've got. Yes, of course, the skill update, new blah blah. SAS is not available in early probe cores or new pilots, right? I have 5-star pilot on board, but it still says can't SAS. Pilot needs to be seated in a command module, which I am. He's not controlling it anyway. I have this here too. I have 2 pilots, 1 Jeb and 1 cockpit. I tried everything from switching the places to EVA to getting nothing, no SAS. All right, that's not a bad idea what they're doing there. So let's come back in. Let's resume the flight. And then waste a whole bunch of time zooming 400,000 zillion miles to get to the ship. It's E. There's the problem right there. I have no electricity. That was the issue. Great message. Let's come down here. I have an add-on called Ampere, which gives me reserve battery power. So come down here. Open up my panels. Now turn on my SAS. All right. And I still have a minute to get to my burn point. So excellent. Okay, that's just an example of trying to stay calm and work the problem. Just gonna go up here, turn that off. Still a minute away from the burn. And it's a very small burn. Very small burn. Okay. And now I'm actually forgetting what it was I was trying to do. Oh, I know. I was trying to get now we've matched planes. And now let's see if I can put a maneuver node out in front of me here, if I can get onto my orbit. add maneuver node, and I want to pull it down until I cross through his orbit. Oh, I'm already passed through his orbit. Let's do that, and it's 200 meters away at that point, which is fine for me. So everything worked out. So I'm going to turn, I'm in target mode, I'm going to turn target retrograde. Zoom us in a little bit here. And I'm going to warp us to about here. Excuse me, didn't I already make that burn? Nope. Okay, Rick, don't lose your mind. Unfortunately, I have 39 seconds to get there. I guess I did let that not being able to control the ship thing frazzle me a little bit. 10 seconds to the burn and basically literally no input at all. Wow, I went way past it. Let's see how bad it is. Now I'm 1.6 kilometers away. Let's fix this. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3. I gotta waste like 10 seconds to get back to my ship. Lights back on. Okay. Let's limit this thing way down. Turn full grade. Back to here. Pin that. We can fix this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. How about 100 meters apart? Okay, back to target. Retrograde. Start warping together here. Okay. I should certainly be in range to see him now, so I'll switch back to here. I'll make sure I'm in target retrograde. Zoom back into my ship for 10 seconds here. And if I look retrograde, he's behind me. He's below me. So now we'll just warp us forward. Okay, pointed where I can see him again, coming up over the canyons. That little pause there was I just got into physics range. About 1,000 meters away. And we'll slow us down a little bit. That. Thrust limit me. I'm going to look on the nav ball to try to find that the pink marker, which is where he's at. I can't see it. It's right off the bit here. It's that pink. There it is. I think that's it right there. If I get above myself here, I burn. I'll push my retrograde marker away from me. Do I still have audio? Is my mic still working? Yeah, okay. So, retrograde. Now he's a little above me. His marker's up there again, or am I on it? I don't know. I can't see. I gotta be getting really close to him though, so let's get some control here. Okay, I see where it is now. It's above me. So now I'll push my retrograde marker onto his retrograde marker. Right, and then we should be going towards each other. Now I'm only 170 meters away apart. If I push it over a little bit more this way. Okay. It says, go back to retrograde. I need to speed up a little bit, so I'm going to go to prograde. Target, prograde. When you burn this way, it pulls your prograde marker towards your retrograde marker. Okay. Back to retrograde. It says we'll be 100 meters apart at closest approach. I'm going to turn this off and sort of scooch around to see. There it is. Now I'm 18 meters at closest approach, so I can live with that. I'll go back to retrograde. So I'll get within like 18 meters of him. And then I'll match his velocity, and then I'll switch over to his ship because that has the RCS on it. And I'll use his ship to rendezvous back with the lander. I say his, it's an empty probe core right now. I'm going to thrust limit me again here so I have a little better control. 18 meters at closest approach. There we are, 20 meters apart, and we are at station keeping. So I'm going to control from here. I'm going to pin this so I can now switch over. First of all, I'm going to point towards him as best I can. Point right at him. It's good enough. And swing this way a little bit. Then I'll switch back over to that ship. Turn the RCS off, which it remembers from the last time. Try to find my ship sites. Control from here. Set my target to be him. Open up my targeting computer here thing. It's this Navy Fish docking alignment tool. And I gotta go this way. This way. Gotta get that into the center. Orange is the target, so I'm now pointed directly at his docking port, but he is, if I go into change my camera mode to locked, right, and then I orient us, you'll see the crosshairs are where he is. I'm pointed at the center. Both of our docking ports are pointed towards the center here because the orange right here. The top of his docking port is over here, so if I really wanted, I could rotate this. Now the top of our docking ports are aligned, and of course now he's above me and to my right. And all I have to do is turn on my RCS and puff up a little bit. And over to the right a little bit. And forward a little bit so that I've got forward momentum. I'm 11 feet. He's 11.1 meters directly in front of him. It looks like the horizontal is going to make it to the center first. So now you can see he's just basically to the right of me. Just continuing to move to the right. Okay, now he's pretty much directly in front of me, 10 feet away. I'll hit H to move towards him and say 0.2 meters per second or so. So technically, I could go dock with the space station, refuel, come back with this same ship and land again. But right now, I want to get some science. I'm greedy and I want to get some science. I need to get upgrade stuff. So as we get closer, things will get more and more sensitive. Right, 1 meter. When we get within 1 meter, the magnetic effect will take over and we'll dock. And you can see everything was lined up because the top of my docking port, my panels were out left and right. On top of his docking port, panels were left and right. I am so sorry for that cough. Boy, it is such a shame to bring this ship all the way home. Well, I can leave the lander in orbit. I don't have to make another lander. Yeah, I can move all of my science over, return this guy all the way to Kerbin, and just bring another one of these out. Redock with the lander, fly the lander over to the space station. I might have enough fuel in the lander itself. Where's the space station? It's above me, very small distance. Here's what I can do. I'm going to move some fuel over into the lander, and I'm going to fly the lander all by itself over to the station. So I'm going to click that tank. I don't need the landing or the docking alignment tool anymore. And I'm going to grab this guy's tank, and I'm going to move some fuel. Oh, that's because I got this open. It won't let me do what I want to do. Close that. I don't have any more science here. So let's try this again. I'll pick this tank and then Alt pick this tank. And I'll say I want to send fuel out of this tank. And that should be plenty. And then I want to take and send fuel out of this tank. Let's see. I do have TAC fuel balancer where I could balance these exactly, but I'm just going to do it by eye. Okay, so that should be enough fuel to get me back to Kerbin. Let's verify that by undocking. Yeah, 1,000. I only need like 100. I could have put twice as much in there. Let's see how much that gets me in here, though. 730 should be plenty for me to get to dock with the station. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go R, thrust forward. Switch back to this ship. Switch back to this ship. Make sure that's on. Reopen this. Okay, get us lined again. greedy. I want more fuel. I don't want to waste that. That would all just get dumped. Now that I know I don't need a whole lot. What's going on there? Oh, my fingers were off by one. Oh, this guy's way over here now. Yeah, got us. Our docking port's all screwed up again. Okay, we're centered. Oops, catch it, catch it, catch it, catch it. Oh, man, my fingers are all screwed up. That's gonna be close enough. No, no, it's not. Oh, for the love of God. My fingers were off one on the keyboard. And I have peripheral neuropathy, so I have no feeling in my fingers. Alright, enough with excuses. Just fix it. Stop complaining and fix it. Okay, so first, align the docking ports. I gotta get this, go this way. Stay this way, please. There's this tendency to want to roll back, which isn't helping me. Okay. Now, I need to be way down, way over to the right. There we go. Now moving back in at him again, but it's so slow it's not registering. Okay, we're going really good to the right. We must be in a where as we're rotating, our docking ports are spinning because I have to keep chasing the docking port, which sucks. See, so now he's to my right too far, or to my left too far. It's okay. Stay calm. Centered now. That's on that direction, but I need to go this way now. Oh my God. If this gets much worse, I'm gonna have to reorient the ships because everything's spinning away from everything else and it's making me absolutely apeshit crazy. There we go. Good grief. Okay, so pick this tank, alt pick this tank, say out. Oh, I hit in accidentally, so hit out. We're going to stop it when it gets to 50. We're 69. I'm going to take this guy out. Yep, when it's this guy out. So those are kind of matched, and these are kind of matched. Okay, that should be enough to deorbit me. So get me back to Kerbin. So now let's try this again. Dock. And I gotta bring the science over here, so. Shit, I didn't want to do that either. Good grief. That's that rate we're moving apart from each other. Okay, I can bring this up to. So I'm still moving away from him. Okay, so now technically we're at station keeping. I can EVA my scientist. Bobby, good old Bobby. Put my camera back to free. Get on Bobby. Bobby can take all the science, take data. So he's got all the science, so now I can let go. Put on my retro pack. Go up. Board the ship. So that stores all the science. So I'll just leave this guy in orbit. I'll once I get him home, I'll come back and dock this with the space station. I've got 800 Delta V. That'll get me all the way back to Kerbin easily. So let's do just that. Let's figure out what we need to do to get back to Kerbin. So we're going this way, prograde, and I want to leave that way. So I'm going to come over here, coming around this way, and put a node right here. And we're going to burn prograde until we leave the moon sphere of influence. Is my mic still working? Yep. Anybody in the channel? Nope, as always. There we go. I can grab it and bring it around this way to make it a little better. And that was way more Delta V than I needed, so I can pull some of this out. And I can bring this back over this way. 80, I should be able to escape with like 180 Delta V. So, no, it's going to take at least 190. So, I got tons. It's not like I'm trying to conserve Delta V or anything. Alright, so where's that? It's 29 minutes away. It's going to be prograde in orbital mode. Prograde. God, that scared the hell out of me. Turn off my retro, my RCS. Warp up. Whoa, 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 Nelly. Good enough. Here. The tilde key to focus the ship. Zoom on in. Wait for it to stop doing its own warp. Warp it myself. Get to Kerbin. Retrograde. Orbital. Bring the periapsis down to about 38. Ooh, whoa, is that sensitive? Let's come back here again. Slow it this way down. Okay, gravity orbit me. Mic's still working? Yep. Anybody with me? Nobody's with me. All by myself. And I'm gonna get something to eat after we return here. Okay. Make sure the lights are back on. Where's Kerbin? There's Kerbin. Not orbit anymore. Let's go to anti-normal. We'll do just fine. That. Bye. Thanks. Service well. 3. Totally in the dark right now. It's okay. We're down to 70K. There we go. I can see the ground now. Now I just hope we don't come in over the mountains, especially since I did not save before I jettisoned that service stage, so I couldn't restart and change our inclination to try to avoid anything bad. So wherever we're coming down, that's where we're coming down. I always hate being over highlands because highlands are around mountains. Got a hailstorm. Actually, that's just ship effects. Jeez, I'm in radio blackout. Creaking and creaking. Grasslands, that makes me feel better. No, mountains aren't so close to grasslands. And we're out of the worst of it. Still off grasslands. What kind of science is it saying I can get? Yeah, no, I don't think I want to do an EVA at 500 meters per second. We'll pass on that. Both chutes are out. Turn off the SAS now. That should be the deploy. About 3 Gs on that. Wow. I looked down and saw orbital velocity of 175 meters per second and nearly peed my pants. Okay, there's no data out here to collect. So let's just recover. And see what kind of sweet, juicy science we got. Hey, Andy, how's it going? Yeah, you know, I started this mission today, building a big Jumbo 64 refueler to take out to my moon station. And the liftoff was perfect. The whole profile for getting to orbit was perfect. Getting to the moon was perfect. The whole rendezvous, and I was documenting the whole thing. And the approach worked. You know, setting up the approach worked great. The approach worked great. The close approach worked great. The docking worked great. And I don't know what I did, but I went to do something and I looked over and I didn't start recording yet. So I started the video today from the point where, so we lost all the footage of me building the refueler and flying it all the way out to the lab and docking it. So I was a little disappointed, but I'm going to do another rendezvous at the end of this video. I'm not going to do a rendezvous at the beginning and the end of every mission so that everybody can just watch it and see the process. It's not that complicated. But I apologize. You can, everybody can do whatever works for them. I just get triggered because the Holman is the best way to do it because it works every time, and it's worth learning. So let's see what I got. Oh, so I got 400 science. That's Uber. I got some stuff I can recover. That's Uber. Let's see. I want to get to Gigantor panels, some more science, of course, and the bigger batteries. So what is this? Okay, so this very first one gets me the Gigantors for 300. So that's gonna take almost all my science, or all my science points. And I think this next one is is it the one after it? Somewhere in here. I gotta add. There's a mod where you can add empty, or you can hide empty nodes. I gotta turn that on. So where is that? Where is the big battery? They're not there. It's not up here. Is it in unmanned tech? Is that where the big battery lives? The big boy battery? No, not there. Not there. Not there. No, not there. Oh, is that it? Z4K battery. So which one? So I gotta get another. Woo! I gotta get 500. Yeah, I gotta do another moon landing, I guess. Close, 400, but I'm gonna use. I'm gonna grab those Gigantors. Right there, so that gets me the Gigantors. Did it get me any new science? See, the other option is I could, or any of these nodes, I could get the accelerometer. Oh, crap. That's like another 100 science. Wow. Choices. Well, I don't need the solar panels right now. I'd rather have the science. So let's do that. And then I'm going to save the rest. I'm going to put the rest on account. So, what next? I got to fly. I don't actually have to fly anything back right now. What I can do is I left the lander in orbit. I'm gonna come back, get back to the lander. I'm gonna fly it over to the space station and refuel it and take another bite of the. Oh shoot! I got that new science, that new sweet science, and I don't have it on the lander, so I might have to. I'll dock the lander, refuel it, go back to Kerbin, fly another return vessel out with an accelerometer on it. That's what I'll do. And I hope to God this is another bug that's been happening lately, and I'm sure it's gonna happen here. If you forget to close the trajectories window, the icon for it goes away, and you can't move it off the screen. So it's like now forever stuck on my screen here, which sort of blows. Alright, well, I'll just have to dance around it. I can even open this. No, not Kerbal. Want the where's the wrench? It's up here. Looking for a wrench icon. Yeah, that guy. So you can see I've got a trajectory. Trajectory should be visible both in the standard GUI and in the this GUI over here. But it's not there. It's just, that's a bug. It goes away, it doesn't go back. I gotta put a comment in the forums to see if somebody can answer that. So let's get to the station here. Let's make it my target. No, station. Set as target. What's my inclination? -7. So I'm gonna come over to this one first. Ascending node. Add maneuver. You can get out of my way now. You can come over here and be in my way on that side. Sending node. Let's get right on it. And let's pin it. Let's pull this down. 3, 2, 1, and they'll flip sides. So that's a small 1-second burn. It was anti-normal. So I'm gonna just take a gamble and think anti-normal is over here, and that was a bad gamble because it's over here. There's anti-normal. So first step is match the planes with your target. That's 14 minutes away. Seconds from the burn. Two seconds. Go. So now we've matched planes. Now the next thing, and I think this is the thing that confuses people the most, because they just think it takes too long to get to the position. So I'm in the lower orbit, so I just want to orbit us around so that if I want my target ship to be level with me, or just straight across from where I am. So I want to put the space station right here, right? So I'm moving faster, so I will catch up to him. So I'll come out here. I'll do this as quickly as I can. So there's one orbit it took, 2 orbits. 3, 4, 5, 6, So anything that takes more than 5 orbits is considered taking a long time to get the right phase angle. We're easily 10 or 11 by now. Okay, so now I know we're getting close. I will put myself in the lower orbit, and I just want to warp time forward a little bit more until he's right here. And I'm being cautious here because I just want it to work the first time. Okay, that should be pretty close. Yeah, see, he's like directly across from me. He's a little above me, but he's effectively directly across from me. Oh, there was Sass. If I missed you, hey Sass. Sorry. So now, now all I have to do, I'm in the right place to start looking to see where I want to do the transfer. So now I'm just going to put a maneuver node out in front of me, and I'm going to he's above me now, so I'm gonna move my orbit up at the other side until I see I'll pass through his orbit. And as soon as I pass through his orbit, I see 2 close approach markers, and you know you're in the right position, so because they should end up fairly close to each other. If you pass through his orbit and you have like a pink one here and the other pink one's way over here, it means that you have to go forward in time a little bit more. But now all I have to do is I take the entire maneuver node and I slide it. And as I slide it, you'll see these close approach markers. I'll pin this. So it's at 17. Didn't pin. Okay, so it's at 14, 13, 6, 3, 2, 1. You know, how's a rendezvous of zero distance from each other? So now all I have to do is make this burn and rendezvous. Yeah, we had the whole stream here. I started streaming today about 8 in the morning, so 8, 9, 10. I'm going on 4 hours now. I think. So now I have 21 minutes to that burn, and it's going to be prograde because I'm pushing out. And here's the other place that you always make a mistake, is make sure that you're in orbit mode. Yeah, once the markers appear, okay, I'm back. Good time for my USB controller to drop out, but yeah, once you pass through his orbit, you're gonna pass through the orbit at 2 points, right? If you're below him, like I was, I'm gonna pass through from below and go above his orbit, and then I'm gonna come around and eventually come back down through his orbit from the top. So that's what those 2 approach markers are. They're just showing you the points where you go through his orbit, and then all you have to do is, it gets you the whole idea of getting to where you're horizontally across from him is just to get you in the ballpark of where you need to be to get the close approach. So you just grab the whole maneuver node and you drag it around until you bring the close approach markers together. All right, so I could actually make my approach at the purple markers, right? I could set that as my target, and I can grab my maneuver node again, and I can move this around. Actually, that's so far away I can't really make it match, but so I can go back to focusing on this, the pink markers here. Okay, something wacky happened here. Let's do this again. Did I already burn to meet him? No, I didn't. Oh, all the time I've been talking like an idiot. Oh boy. I'm in the lower orbit, right? Look where he is now. He's past the... I'm way above him now, so now I've passed the point where we're at the right place to make the rendezvous again, so I can, fix it. It's just a matter of getting him back in the right position again. And that's unfortunate. You can't. You go too fast and you lose track where he is, and then you overshoot him again, and then So this is about as fast as I can go and still keep track of where he is. And this is the maximum number of times you would have to orbit to get into the right position, because I had just passed him from the correct right position. So once again, put myself at the bottom, and I want him to be straight across from me. So he's still a little above me. Right, do this. Okay, now he's pretty much straight across from me, so I'll make a maneuver node. And I'll push the maneuver node out until I go through his orbit, and you'll see 2 close approach markers form. Right there. Right, now I just grab the whole maneuver node. I'm going to focus on these peach ones. Grab the whole maneuver node and just drag it. And as I drag it, those nodes should come together. Did I pass through? Am I not in the same plane as he is anymore? Did I screw something up there? No, I am. Okay, not a problem. He's straight across from me. Make a node. Bring it down until I get... Push it forward. I'm used to being above the target. Till I get the close approach markers, and then grab the whole thing. And let's... There's something a little strange happening here, because they're not coming together. Let's push out a little bit more. Make sure I'm going through the orbit. Okay, I'm definitely going through his orbit now, so now grab this whole thing. So you can't possibly want to come all the way around and go through where you are already, so I'm gonna... That's why it's better to have a little bit bigger distance between you, because this is... So all I'm gonna do is I can't get it to do what I want, so I'm gonna zoom in a little bit closer to him. Right, and let's try it from here. So he's, once again, looks like he's straight across from me. And I'm gonna put a node here, add maneuver, and I'm gonna push it out till I see 2 close approach markers, and this is better because now they're already closer together. So now grab the whole thing, let's pin it. 20 kilometers. 1918, see, it was just a matter of, I couldn't get it to do what I want, so just come back out, go fast forward a little bit longer. So there's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, I was going to try to be fancy and get right back to the 0 we were before, but there we go. I'm 100 meters away from them. So, yeah, they're very slightly not circular, but the main thing that was causing me not to be able to get match our get our close approach markers together was he wasn't in the right position yet, and that's because when this distance gets too close together, it's hard to judge when you're at that point where he's straight across from you. See, like, I mean, it looks like he's straight across from me now, but straight across would really be here. right? And that's where he was when I made the burn. The fact that he's down here now is because I dragged the maneuver node around, but that's got us to the right point where we're gonna intercept. So let's make this burn. I don't want to yak too long again. So turn prograde. Just make that burn. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. 10 seconds to the burn. Had to get my fingers got twisted there a little bit. So now I should be right somewhere close to 100 meters away. I'm 200 meters away from them now. So now you can't rely on the nav ball automatically switching into target mode. So you just get into target mode now, and then I warp forward. So even with that little struggling in the second attempt, it really didn't take that long. You just have to get that right phase angle and then realize that you're not getting a match that you want. So just go back out, go forward a little bit more, and then try again. So target retrograde. He'll be behind me. He's 500 meters away, so I'm gonna slow down. 500 meters away, I want to be going at him at about 5 meters per second. Looks like I'm going to be 183 meters away at closest approach. So I'm going to look, there's his retrograde marker now, so I'm going to go over here. And when I burn, I'll push my retrograde marker toward his. And when I get my retrograde marker on top of his, now we're 83 meters apart at closest approach. So I can just keep wrangling us together, but I'll take that right now. Now come on in. Right, now I can really dial us in now because I'm close. I'll get down here. See where that marker is. Now I'm 22 meters away at closest approach, so that's good enough for docking. So now I can warp in again. And now I'll just reduce my relative velocities to 0. There we go. We're at station keeping. So now I just have to figure out where I want to dock at. Oh, now I got that bug happening again. I got to 0, and then for no reason I'm accelerating away from him. So this could be a problem. Sometimes I can get it to eventually allow me to get to station keeping, other times I can't. So just be aware, this is not something that should happen, it's a bug. So if I turn retrograde again, I burn until we're back to 0. Okay, 0.1. He's still moving away, so I'm gonna go. Yeah, see, and we're far enough apart right now. I should be able to see. This is part of the bug. We're far enough apart right now that I should be able to pick either my prograde or retrograde relative to the target. So let's see. We'll try some things to see if we can fix this problem. Okay, so if I go back to that, okay, doesn't matter. Let's escape. Let's go to the Space Center. when you leave and go into a different, like the Space Center or the Tech Center, it reloads everything. So it might correct whatever glitch has occurred here. Right, so now I'll go back to the tracking station. And we'll go back out to the moon lander. Okay, I should be at 0.1 meters per second. Right, see, and that's another thing that's odd about this bug. Once you set a closure rate or a separation rate of 0.1, 0.5, 0.2, it should stay at that same separation rate, which it is. It's staying at 0.1 right now. But when I get to 0, it goes to 0, then to 0.1, then to 0.2, then to 0.3, then, which is the behavior you would get if you were actually firing your engine. You're applying a force, right? Because Newton's law says, once a body is at a certain state, if there's no external force, it should stay in that state, which would be the same closure rate, or 0 in that case. You can't get to 0 and then all of a sudden have it go with no input, no thrust, go to 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. That's implying some kind of thrust. So that's a bug. So let's go to, see, I'm in the same state. I can't pick retrograde. I have to manually put myself on retrograde, and I think if I do that, I'm so close to matching his speed right now that my retrograde has gone away. So let's point at him like this. Just a little puff. Now I'm definitely moving towards him. Above him a little bit. Okay, now get back to this side of him. See, and I still don't have the ability. See, that I should be able to. I'm far enough away from him now where these should work. So this is another indication of the bug. So let's get in. And the next thing to try after this would be to actually leave the game and come back into the game. But this is a bug, and this is why Poopmond, or whatever his name was pissing me off, because I was calling his colleagues poopheads or shitheads, because they were trying to tell me that this can't happen because it's never happened to them, of course, right? And then there was a whole bunch of people just piling on at that point, giving snarky answers. It was like, well, if you call yourself an engineer, don't you realize that those two bodies have masses, so they're like accelerating towards each other? If that logic was correct, when you got within 2 feet of a fat person, you'd get sucked into their gravitational field. 2 4-ton ships are not going to exert enough gravitational force to make a hill of beans. And then the other one is, well, you're obviously not in the same orbits. You can never be in exactly the same orbits. I have news for you as an engineer, as an aerospace engineer, as someone who understands orbital dynamics. When your relative velocities are 0, you're in the same orbit, because your velocity is determined by your orbit. Okay, so let's see, I hit 0, and then it went apeshit again. Let's come back around. I'm gonna give this one more try, see if I can get to 0. There's 1. There's 0. there we go. I don't know what I did, how I did it, why I did it, where I did it, but now the bug is gone. And this is the way overhead mechanics should work. When you zero out your relative velocities, you should be at what's called station keeping. And that's what we are right now. We're in station keeping. And we should hold this position. I mean, we're not exactly at zero. So, I mean, if, I don't know, who knows, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours from now, we might gradually see a difference in our positions. But now I can set up my docking. So I'm going to go over to this ship and I'm going to rotate it. I'm going to control it from the docking port I want to dock at, which is this one. I'm going to say control from here. And then I'm going to figure out what I have to do to make the ship roll towards me, which is the way I started, this way. And I'm going to, I already have controls from here, but I'm going to pin this because when I switch back over to my ship, I want to be able to target it, set it as my target. So that looks like that axis, and now I have to, other way. You have a 50-50 chance, and I always, of course, pick the wrong one. So that's not exactly pointing at each other, but it's got me in the general direction. So now when I switch back to my ship, and I go to my docking alignment tool, and I just realized something. I didn't put RCS on this guy because I always figured I could dock using the other ship. And now I'm in a situation, I never realized, you know, I might want to use the ship to dock with something. So now we'll have to do it manually, which is not a problem. I'm going to set this as my target. And see, I can't translate up or over or anything fancy. But what I can do is point at him. So let's, wrong way. Rugged ass. I want to get to where up is up, and there we go. So again, like that. And now I can point like that. So I'm just going to point at him from here and this way. So I'm just going to manually line our docking points to be pointing at each other. So, and you see I'm at the center, and when I get this orange to the center, it means our docking ports are pointed at each other, but I can't translate over to get straight in front of his. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this way a little bit, right? And then I'm going to switch back to that ship. And I'm going to switch back here. I need to target my docking port on the other ship, so let's pin this. Switch back to the other ship. Now set this guy as my target, and then I'll get a picture over here. So now I want to point at that docking port, so it's above me. I want to go this way. So I'm just going to jiggle the ships around this way until I get them pointed straight at each other, and then I'm just going to drive them together, which I can do right now. See, now I'm lined up. Well, I'm still a little off. Let's see, how can I do this? Actually, I have an idea. If I push my docking port to be lined up here, right? That's where my ship is right there. So I want to get docking ports at this crosshairs, like that, and then switch back to the other ship and get its docking port so it's lined up at the crosshairs over here. Oh, turn the right way. This guy turns a lot faster, doesn't it? And we'll go down to here. And, oh shoot. Well, we're pointed at each other, but it didn't solve my problem. I need to get it. Kind of experimenting here. What I want to do is get that guy pointing towards that guy, and then go back to this guy, and get its docking port. Oh, turn the RCS off. Ah, damn it. I've had like several 50-50 chances to get them going the right way.
Remember why he
All of them. Okay.
DVA'd? He's not why he was
So actually, this, what am I doing? The station has RCS, so I'm an idiot. Let's get this guy to there, and let's get this guy to here. This guy to here. This guy to here. There we go. Now all I have to do is throw turn RCS on, and I'll just dock the whole, use the whole station to dock. So let's line our docking ports up while I'm here. Not so far. Okay. And then once again, I gotta get our docking ports lined. Okay. Turn RCS on, and all I have to do is thrust over to the left and thrust up a little bit. Hell, I'll just move the whole station. There we go. And if I go into lock mode, like that, and I look from the docking port, you can see he's slightly to my left and above me. So as long as I keep thrusting to the left, we'll align that vertical bar, like right there, then bring this back to 0, like this. Okay, so now he's just directly above me. Hell yeah. I keep forgetting if the station has RCS on it, you can use it. Okay. So now I'm just thrusting, you know, left, right, up, down to keep the crosshair centered. Okay, so I want to go up a little bit here and try to increase that rate that I'm bringing him down. I guess it's all relative. Slowly I turned, step by step, inch by inch, It's an old Three Stooges reference there. Niagara Falls. Okay. We're getting there. Yeah, Yahtzee. Now just hit H to thrust forward. And there we go. We will dock. Now it's just a little matter of it's getting below me, so I'll go down, and it's getting to my right, so I'll go to the right. So I go back up a little bit. Then what I might do when I bring the next supply ship up is I'll throw on a couple of, maybe I will put some RCS on the lander. Because every time I need to refuel it, I'm going to have to do this docking. So it's worth having its own RCS. Okay, we're 4 meters apart. Okay. Start getting close to each other that it can become real sensitive, but we got there. Turn those off. This guy that I can't get out of my way until I basically reboot. So now I got a big ass fuel tank over here. And I got a little ass fuel tank over here. Just go in, fill that up. Bonk. Okay. And I can demonstrate another little program I have here called TAC Fuel Balancer. Bonk. Grab liquid fuel. And I know that all of these are Oscar B's, right? So I'm going to lock all of these non-Oscar B's. Lock, 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 lock. 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 So now all the Oscars are available. So now I just have to figure out this guy is what? It's a X200. So I just have to open up one of these X200s. We'll grab one of the ones that already has a lot of fuel in it, but not totally full. So I'll unlock that one. And then I just hit out. Right? Boom. And you see, I just filled up all the Oscar B's right here in one step. Right? But I have to do that same thing. So let's stop it from going out. Go over to the oxidizer, and we'll do the same thing. This one, we'll keep that one open. We'll lock everything but the Oscar B's, and then we'll hit out. Zoom. So now this is completely refueled. Be sure to turn off out. There we go. And now this lander is ready to go back down again. But I think at this point, it's 11:30 and I've been streaming for a couple hours. I think we'll save the next lander mission until I can bring out another return ship with that new accelerometer science that I just picked up. So we'll get a little more science the next time we land on the moon. So if anybody's left in the channel, thanks for coming in and watching, and I'll catch you in the next stream. Until then, stay cool.